Hello, FlossTube. This is Dina, and today is August 1st. Believe it or not, we're into August. Oh, welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming back to visit with me. I have an update today. I have a finish. I actually got started on it late yesterday because I had finished my latest rotation, and I thought, well, I know I want to get 2 different little house needlework patterns done at the first of the month, so I'll go ahead and start on one. So yesterday I started the little sheep virtues for love, and as you know, I'm doing this on an Afghan. So I had a couple of issues. One, the color called for the sheep matches the Afghan pretty closely. So I had to back stitch that with a little bit darker color just to help you see it. But that same color was called for in the border, and I knew it would not show up. So I did substitute the thread for a different color. I put DMC 3828 in there when it actually called for 822. So that's what I subbed out for that one. And I'll show you my piece. You can see the sheep, but as I mentioned, it is a little difficult to see it, and without the outline, I don't think it would have shown up nearly as well. And I think you could tell if it was this color over here, the border would look a little faded. You would just disappear into nothing. Anyway, that's the piece. I'm really pleased with it, and so now I have completed 2 squares. This was the last one that we did, and which was hope, and now we have love. So I'll back way up here so you can hopefully see. There you go. There's 2 in between, and there'll be 2 more, and then I'll do the next one right here next month. So once again, here is the love. And so that is a finish. The first day of August. It only took me 2 days of stitching to get that done. It seems to me that that one went quicker than the first one I did. Maybe I'm getting used to the pattern or the colors or whatever, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'll be putting this Afghan away till next month. I'm glad it's getting toward fall because it's very warm trying to hold this and stitch with it. But that's my finish for today. It's the beginning of August, so I'll wish you all a wonderful stitching this month of August. And I hope that you get to stitch a lot this month and hit all of your goals. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is Sunday, August the 5th, and this is Dina, and I have a finish to share with you. As you know, at the first of the month, I try to make sure that I do one of the Hometown Holidays series pieces, and this month I did the Bookstore. I think that's such a cute piece. So that's what it looks like on the pattern, and this is my finish. I think it's delightful. Happy to have it done. I finished that last night. And then today I had a very special occurrence. As you know, I'm in a round robin, and there are 4 of us in there. And today I actually got to meet up with one of my round robin teammates, and she was able to give me her piece that she just started, and I want to share it with you. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those gorgeous colors. Now, her name is Kim. I'm not going to share her last name with you. I didn't get her permission to do that. But today, Kim and I met for the very first time, and she had her piece ready for me and gave it to me so I can work my part of her round robin. And I'm going to get started on it in the morning. And I'm very excited about doing that for her. And then when I finish my piece, I'll ship it off to the next person that I'm to mail everything to. So how fun is that? I have one more thing to share with you. Recently, I shared with you some happy mail that Elizabeth from Vintage Stitches had shared with me, and she has done it again. On her latest video, she showed one of her whips, and it was just beautiful. And so she asked if I would like to have a pattern because she had an extra. So here is the pattern that Elizabeth asked if I would like to have. Isn't that beautiful? Merry Christmas. It's called Woman in Flower, and it's by Dewdrop. It's a Jeanette Cruz design. I just think it's beautiful. And it is really a lovely vintage stitch. So I hope to do that soon. Maybe this year, maybe next year. But now I have two of these patterns that I think would be lovely together. So I wanted to share that with you. And I wanted to say thank you, Elizabeth, for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. Well, that's what I've been up to for the last couple of days. I can't tell you how much fun I had today meeting Kim and talking with her and sharing some of our favorite floss tubers that we watch and spend time in as we're stitching, watching their videos. So I hope that maybe in the future I'll be able to show you more of the round robin pieces. I'll definitely film this one when I'm finished with my section so you can see what it looks like. In the meantime, I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye. Hi everyone, this is Dina, and it is Monday, August the 6th. It's late. I have been stitching most of the day off and on. I've been out and had lunch with my son today, but I got my round robin piece, my first one, and I may have told you before that we found out we live in the same town. So Sunday afternoon, we met at Panera Bread, and we got acquainted, we talked a while, we stitched a little while, and she brought me her round robin piece, which I showed you in the last segment, what she had done, and I promised to come back and share with you when I finished my part of it. So this will be the first time you've seen this motif because the one that I stitched on my piece I discovered was too heavy. It just seemed to almost be full coverage, and I just felt like it was going to weigh down other people's pieces. I'm glad I stitched it on mine so I could see what it would look like. But I took Kim's colors and I stitched my Quaker motif in some of her colors. You'll see the round, or the octagon, I guess is what you call that, shape with all the filigree in it, and then it's got hearts all around it, which I thought was a pretty motif for her. I used the green in her border in the middle to help tie it in, but I didn't want to put the dark green throughout the whole filigree because I felt like it would be a little too much, because she just used a little bit of dark green in her piece. So I wanted to do the same and put it in the middle to kind of mirror what Kim had done. So I used her lighter green that she put in her packet of threads, and it's actually 164, DMC 164, but it didn't show up well enough for me on her fabric. So I went ahead and back stitched all around the motif at the end, and I feel like that helps it to show up better. Then to add a little bit of her colors, I went in and used the same pink that Kim has used in her flowers here. I used them in the heart, and that's DMC 3831. And then she had the pale violet in her colors, and I thought I would enter one of her other colors to bring it into the piece, but do it in a small way so it didn't overpower. So I used her darker purple that she had put in for her colors, and that's DMC 29. So I tried to use some of the same colors in almost the same way. Her pinks are on the outer edge here, and mine are on the outer edges here. And her extra color was this light color, and I thought about using that instead of the purple, but I just wanted to go ahead and use one of her other colors to get it introduced into the piece. So that's what I did. And I hope that she likes it. I hope you all like it. Kim signed her name in this same pink, which is DMC 3831. So I took her lead and I signed my name over on the opposite corner of the bottom of my piece. And she signed her first full name there, and I signed mine there, mimicking what she was doing. So I hope that, Kim, I hope you feel like this kind of goes together, that it flows well in your piece, that your colors travel over well and mirror each other pretty well. I hope you like it. I'm pleased with it, and I'm ready to pass your piece along to the next stitcher. This is going to be so much fun. This was beautiful fabric. Kim said this is 32 count fabric, and she doesn't remember if it was cashel linen, but it is linen, and she did get it at Hobby Lobby. So I'm not sure the name of the color, but it is a very beautiful neutral, and I'm just really, really pleased with it. So I'll give you one additional look at it. That's the entire piece there. And I'm going to be packing this up and mailing it out next week. So, Victoria, get ready, honey. It's coming your way. Thank y'all for letting me walk you through my color choices and design choices for going forward with the round robins in my group. And I'll take a picture tonight, and I'll be posting this on the round robin group, the hashtag group, so that everybody can see it as it progresses. Happy stitching, you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. Today is Monday, and it is August the 13th, and it is my son's birthday. Happy birthday, JT, if you happen to watch this one. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you about my retreat, show you my retreat progress, and then we want to, I'll share with you a little bit about my son's birthday, just on a personal note, and then we're gonna draw the winner for the Pass the Stash with the Mill Hill kit, the Snowman that was designed by Jim Shore. So let's get started. I have been on a retreat this weekend in Marietta, Georgia. It was sponsored by Katrina Boyd, and we had a fabulous time. I don't know exactly how many people were there, but I would think between 40 and 50. Could have been more. There were absolutely a ton of people there. We had 2 different stitching rooms. They were separated just by a lobby, and so we would run back and forth, you know, to see each other and see what each other was working on. And Katrina had her mobile store set up, and she had a surprise for us. Leslie LaFleur was there from her Under the Sea Fabrics, and she brought fabrics for us, and Fortunately, I found out about it the night before we were to go to retreat, and so I spent some time going through my stash of projects that I want to start that I have not bought fabric for. And I calculated up the size fabrics I would need depending on whether they were 28 count or 32 count, and took my list with me and my patterns with me. I was thrilled. I got a piece of fabric for each thing I took with me except one, and I found the perfect color to go with it, but it was 55 count. I haven't even tried 40 count yet. I'm not jumping to 55 count quite yet. So anyway, it was great, great fun. And Leslie, I hope you're feeling better. Traveling took a toll on her. And I hope you are feeling better if you happen to watch my channel. And it was a pleasure to meet you. So in that group of attendees, there were some new people that I had not met before, and that was a thrill to get to meet some new stitchers. They're not new to stitching, they're just new to me. One was named Denise, and she used to be a model stitcher for magazines and for designers that design for various magazines. And she showed us some of the things she had stitched because she was working on restitching one for herself of an Afghan that she had stitched years ago. But that was a lot of her career. She actually employed stitchers that worked for her by the end of her stitching career with the magazine. I think she said she had 5 stitchers that worked for her to help complete all the models. So Denise, it was a great pleasure to meet you. I look forward to seeing you again. She had traveled from North Carolina, so it was a pleasure to see her, and it was a privilege for us that she traveled that far, to be with us. I also got to meet the last member of my Country Stitchers Round Robin group, Victoria. She lives in LaGrange, Georgia, and she came to the retreat, and we got to meet and talk, and I actually got to see my piece that she's stitching on, so that was great fun. Now, our group has discussed this, and we've decided, since we all live within about 2 hours of each other, that we are going to save the very last stitch that we do, each one that we get last, where we're finishing up the piece. We're not going to post it on Instagram first. We're going to take pictures of it for later. But we're going to meet up together, all 4 of us, and we're going to present the final pieces to each other without anyone else having seen them, so that we get to see them first. And we're going to do it all at the same time so that we can be together and talk and visit and celebrate, all getting to know each other through this round robin. So I'll have to send that tidbit off to Deb and Liz and let them know what we're going to be able to do, because that's going to be quite a treat. As it turned out, there were 3 of the 4 of us at this retreat. And we missed you, Kim. I think Kim had to work, but we missed you being there. It was a lovely time to get to spend together. I went to the retreat Friday morning. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday retreat. I got there at 8:30 on Friday morning, and I was one of the first ones there, which was great fun, and stitched in the stitching room until 1:15 Saturday morning, when a whole group of us shut it down and went to bed. Only I had already passed that sleepy point, and I wasn't sleepy anymore. So I sat in my room, I changed into my pajamas, got ready for bed, and I just wasn't sleepy. So I sat back down with my stitching, and I continued stitching until 3 a.m. when I actually looked at the clock and said, I'm going to bed whether I'm sleepy or not, because I have to get up in the morning to go stitch. It was fun. I was back in the stitching room at 8:30 Saturday morning and stayed there till my husband picked me up that night at 7:30. And we had dinner together and came on home. And the reason I came home early was twofold. I had planned to have a roommate with me, and unfortunately my roommate had a family emergency. Renee talked about it on her channel, so it's not a secret or anything, but her dog Bailey had been diagnosed with diabetes, and she was having to change her whole routine and give her shots of insulin, and she hadn't gotten all that worked out, and she really couldn't leave Bailey without all that worked out. So it just was one of those unplanned emergencies, and she just needed to take care of her. So she could not come, and I missed you, Renee. I wish she could have been with everybody, and I hope Bailey's doing better. But because of that, I got to thinking about it. And my son's birthday is today, which is the 13th. He was actually born on Friday the 13th, y'all. So he has a tattoo on his wrist that says Friday the 13th. A lot of people think it's for the movie, but it's actually for his birthday. But he thinks that's way cool that he was born on Friday the 13th. So anyway, he is working today, and he's on call tonight. He may not even get to come home, depending on how busy they are, until very late. So we knew we couldn't celebrate his birthday very well today. So we decided to celebrate yesterday. And that was another reason I made the decision to go on home Saturday night from the retreat, because I would already be here Sunday to make the celebration of his birthday go a little smoother and not have to wait until I got home. So it worked out really well. My husband got up and cooked us breakfast. He made us sausage patties and scrambled eggs, and it was lovely, and a waffle. It was a wonderful birthday breakfast. JT just loved it. Anyway, we headed off to church, and after church, we went to Dahlonega, Georgia, and to take our son to lunch. We went to an Italian restaurant called Grapevines, and it was lovely. JT got a veal parmesan, and I got a lasagna, and my husband got a baked ziti. We all tried dishes we had never tried there before in celebration of Jeremy's birthday, and the waitress said that they give cannolis to birthday parties. So my son got a little 2 small cannolis, and he asked her to let him take it to go because he was full. So we ate that later, Sunday night, after we got home and everything, much later. But after lunch, we were right near the Dahlonega Square, where they have all sorts of antique malls and things like that, which my son was not that interested in that, but what he was interested in was a tasting store where you taste balsamic vinegar and you taste olive oils. And these are very pure, very healthy, high-end olive oils. And the balsamics are all different flavors. They've got fruit infused. We tried a key lime. It was wonderful. We tried several flavors, and I think we wound up trying them all. Cindy, who was there in the store with us, gave us a wonderful tour of all the flavors and showed us how to mix and match the olive oils with the balsamic vinegars. And we tried some of those mixtures for salad dressings, and it was just a wonderful treat. And we picked out 2 of the balsamic vinegars. We got a pomegranate pear, and we got a cinnamon and pear. So you've got like Thanksgiving type flavors in one, and very summery flavors in another to make your salad dressings. And the cinnamon balsamic vinegar, the cinnamon and pear, is one you can put on pork tenderloins and pork chops and chicken as you're cooking them, and you just sprinkle it on them, and it makes a wonderful coating, crusty coating on the outside, and gives it that Thanksgiving type flavor. So I can't wait to try it. And that was quite fun. And then after we finished that, we walked on around to the fudge shop, and my son bought a box of fudge of assortments that he picked out that he took to work with him today to celebrate his birthday. He brought them candy so that everybody there could share some with him. And then we walked around to another store, and my son got 2 pieces of chocolate-covered bacon and some, candied orange peels covered in chocolate. Just unusual candy that you don't get very often. He'd get a piece of this and a piece of that, and he's going to use that to celebrate his birthday, just tasting that throughout the week, and that in lieu of a cake. That's what he wanted to do. So delightful time. We got to walk off our lunch, walking around the square, and it was raining part of the time. And as it turned out, it rained when we were in a store, and then it would stop raining, and we'd go to another place. So we never did have to walk in the rain. It was lovely, but it cooled everything down and made the walk very pleasant. And so it was a nice birthday. Our son actually said he greatly enjoyed it. He did something he'd never done before, tasting the various balsamic vinegars and the olive oils, and so we had a good time. So thanks for letting me share all that personal life with you. But I had a couple of goals at the stitching retreat. You know me, I love to work on a goal. That just tends to give me a good stopping point. It gives me something to aim for. And if I don't make it, I don't beat myself up. But if I do make it, I do celebrate it. I think that's awesome. And I feel really good about myself and my stitching. So I set a goal on one of my whips. It is the Ashley's Roses. And this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. And I had stitched this bouquet and this bow and sash, and had just barely gotten started on the dress. But the pattern breaks right in here. That's where it breaks. So my small goal for the retreat was to stitch the rest of that half of the pattern, because that way, I called it a page finish, but it's half the pattern, and the pattern is split on 2 pages, and now I'll be ready to start page 2 of the pattern. This is the last page of the pattern. So I'm happy to report, especially with all that stitching I did till 3 o'clock in the morning, by early Saturday in the retreat, I had hit the goal. So you can see I've come on down on that dress to the bottom of the page, so it's straight all the way across. And I even went back on those little flower petals and the this little, I call it a tentacle or something that comes out of her hair. I don't know what that is, a ribbon or something. I went through and finished all the cross stitch on that, even the pin stitches that I had to do, way out here. You can see there's just a stitch there all by itself every now and then. So I did pin stitches on those. Lots of confetti right there where it's starting the bottom, which is the bottom part of her dress. But I got it all done, and we celebrated it as if it were a finish, because it was a page finish, sort of like a Haid page finish in our room. We celebrate everybody's finishes at the retreat by clapping and cheering for them. And so that was a lot of fun. And we did have a lot of finishes in our room. I don't know how the other room was doing, but we had a lot of finishes in our room. And one person was working on a beautiful piece. This is Lorraine, Rags to Stitches USA. She was working on a piece that was like a Quaker piece, and it had large motifs and small motifs, like my Quaker Christmas II does. And she finished a large motif one day, and plus a small. And then the next day she finished a large and 2 small, and we celebrated each of those as a finish, because it's encouraging, when you've got a big project like that, to celebrate all as you go along. But Not Owl Stitcher, Yvonne, finished 2 projects while she was there. And so that was pretty exciting. And so congratulations, Yvonne, for doing that. I will tell you, we had 15 floss tubers there. We actually had a new person who didn't know about floss tube, and we were telling her about it, and she wanted to know everyone there who had a channel. She wanted to go watch them. So she went around and asked every person if they did floss tube, and we all gave her our channel names. So I think that'll be fun for her to go and have 15 people, to watch that she's met. So what a wonderful thing to do. My second goal was I wanted to start another one of my hometown holidays, because after finishing my goal on Ashley's Roses, with it being so confetti heavy and such a complex chart that you have to really watch, I wanted something a little easier to finish out the retreat so I could visit a little bit better. So I started my next to last in my series, the Schoolhouse. And I got this much done on Saturday while I was there. So that was another goal that I met. I wanted to make that start, and I did. So I was very, very pleased with that. So that's the story of the retreat and my goals that I accomplished there. And now I want to talk to you a little bit about Pass the Stash. It's time to pick the lucky recipient of this pattern. And again, it has the threads and leftover beads. And as I mentioned before, you'll probably have to get your own red beads because you use so many of them. But I've got my random number generator here. Let me get it up on my iPad here. And I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try to turn the camera around so that you can see the random number generator as I generate. Okay, here we go. We had 44 people that were interested in the Pass the Stash. So I've put 44 in there, and we're going to hit generate. And the number is 15. Sheila Bell. Sheila Bell, you are the winner of the Pass the Stash. I'm going to put my email in the description box below. If you will email me your mailing address, then I will be able to put your package in the mail, and you will be able to stitch this possibly even before Christmas. So Sheila Bell, I'll try to put a comment on your comment as well. Congratulations! Thank you all for participating. Well, I'm excited for Sheila, and I hope she enjoys her pattern. And I just wanted to come back and let you know a little bit about my plans for the rest of the month. So, I have a couple of things that I would like to accomplish in the month of August, and I'm going to work really hard to do that. One of those is I would like to start on Seaside Kingdom. It is a piece that reminds me of my son and my husband building sandcastles at the beach. And they both have birthdays in this month, so I want to get it started. My son's birthday is today, so if I have an opportunity today, I'm going to get started on this piece. But my deadline to start on it will be August 20th, which is my husband's birthday. So hopefully on my next video, you'll get to see us start on Seaside Kingdom. The second goal that I have for the month of August is that I would like to get another large chunk of Christmas Quaker II stitched. So I will work on that whip as well this month. And I also have worked on Sleeping Beauty a little bit, but I'm going to work on it again. So rather than show it to you right now, I'm going to wait and show it to you in my next video, and so you can see all the progress that I've made for the month. Other than that, I don't know what else I'm going to stitch on. I may not stitch on anything else. I may just take the month of August to work on my new start, get it going, and then to make a big progress on Quaker Christmas II and Sleeping Beauty, because those are two that I'm pushing toward finishes for this year. We'll see, but that's what I'd like to get done. I do have a crazy month the rest of the month. I had already traveled to my retreat, so it was the weekend that I got to stitch. But I have company coming a whole weekend in the month. They're going to be here 3 days. And so I won't be stitching at all while they're here because we'll be going out and about and doing all kinds of things. And I won't be able to do anything there. So I think that there's a possibility of a couple of other dates that I may have traveling that I'm doing with my husband. So I don't know how much other stitching I'll get done, but I do hope to make some progress on those 3 things that I've set for my goals. So wish me luck. And as always, happy stitching. Bye.